pains me to say this at times because I've been doing this, and this really is a labor of love. We've made the very, very difficult decision to cancel Thunder over Louisville this year.
Louisville is officially canceled. This Kentucky Derby Festival made the difficult decision, saying it would be impossible to put the event on safely this year. The severe weather and rain this week bring the Ohio River to historic levels, and it's not over yet. Thanks for joining us here at 6:30. I'm Alex Dieter, and Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell joins us now, tracking the latest storms. And Mallory, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg announced today that the Ohio is expected to rise another 10 feet.
Yes, we are looking at gauges to get as high as about 35 feet in the downtown Louisville area. So that does put it in moderate flood stage starting tomorrow and taking us through much of next week. And we've been tracking this rain off and on throughout the entire week. You may remember the severe weather threat began actually on Sunday. We had that additional round of severe weather Wednesday night, and then the flooding rains have continued. And we're dealing with that radar filling back in from the west and southwest this evening. Zooming into a few areas that might be bringing us some strong winds. This is primarily along I-65 here, and also moving into Bardstown east of Hodgenville. You can see that line here. No severe warnings on it, but wind gusts 40, maybe even up to 50 miles per hour. Not out of the question. I'm watching these few cells down in southern Kentucky and also just northeast of Nashville. We'll see if they hang together, but those bear watching. Once all of that passes through, our severe weather threat for this week diminishes. So at this point, we still have that chance, especially along and south of the Parkway. Otherwise, it's becoming a big rain event. As we know, flash flood warnings continue across portions of western Kentucky and now are filtering back into central Kentucky. We're expecting more of those as the night goes onward. River flooding continues all across Kentuckiana until further notice. And as I mentioned, this is that gauge for the Ohio River in downtown Louisville. The current stage, you can see it's minor flood stage, 23.55 feet. As we head into early next week, it's going to get close to 36 feet. And pretty much stay there for a few days. So that will bear monitoring for sure. We'll talk much more about when this rain will finally wrap up. That's coming up in our extended forecast.
Now more on the unprecedented move to cancel Thunder over Louisville a week before it was set to take place. The Ohio River already has risen 5 feet in the last 24 hours, and it's expected to rise 10 more feet before it crests. WHAS11's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester are at the waterfront right now. Clarice, we can hear the rain falling down there. What are you seeing right now along the Ohio?
Alex, this rain is definitely going to add to it, but the Ohio River is actually creeping up to the Great Lawn here along the waterfront park, and it's only expected to get worse. That's why, out of safety concerns, officials decided to cancel Thunder over Louisville, which has happened really for the first time for weather reasons.
And we've certainly dealt with issues during the event itself, but nothing like this.
The decision to cancel Thunder over Louisville a week before the event.
It pains me to say this at times because I've been doing this, and this really is a labor of love.
With historic flooding expected in the city, officials announced it's not possible to put on the event safely, both with setup and the event itself.
The viewing areas along the waterfront will be inaccessible, and even again accessing the barges to install the fireworks at this time. The height and the speed of the river will prevent us from safely doing that.
Kentucky Derby Festival President and CEO Matt Gibson says there is no way to reschedule the event that brings thousands of onlookers and vendors each year, with a city schedule that's already jam-packed. Thunder over Louisville alone makes up about 63% of the revenue in the Kentucky Derby Festival's economic impact, bringing in $126 million.
That is a huge income generator for the community and the state as a whole, and really contributes to the things that makes this community great. That's why it was not an easy decision.
Putting vendors in a tough spot with the loss of expected revenue. The air show and fireworks that have kicked off the Kentucky Derby Festival for 37 years will have to wait until next year.
So as of right now, all of those other events are still on schedule, and we have a list of those events on our website, WHAS11.com. Live on the waterfront, Clarice Shaley, WHAS11 on your side.
All right, thank you, Clarice. The high water is impacting roads all across the metro. Right here, you're taking a look at flooded roads near Cherokee Park. We talked to a man who visits the park frequently, saying he's never seen this level of water in his 45 years.
I don't care if you've got a four-wheeler, if you've got a high truck, a high car, stay out of the water because the current's heavy and these big high body trucks, they just think they can go anywhere in them. They can't. They'll float right off the road and then you're in trouble.
And we've already seen several people ignore this advice, and some have had to be rescued. Senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton captured this driver on Frankfort Avenue driving past the barricade. Moments later, the car returns as Louisville EMA crews flip their lights and speak with that driver. So again, please do not drive around or move signs, barrels, or barricades. Remember to never drive through a flooded roadway, and remember, turn around, don't drown. The city is asking you to call 311 if you see a flooded road that has not been blocked off by the city.